Hey everyone, Ram here, your DNA hacker. I'm back for another video. We're going to continue to try to provide good content for those who know about this channel. Please recommend it to people. It really helps us subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit the notification bell so you know when we upload videos. As we spread the word, we'll be able to do more, offer more content here on YouTube and do all sorts of greater stuff. Be able to reach communities in need. I'm beginning to start the process of starting a project with veterans, so I'll be sharing more info with that in the near future. We really want to bring the art of stress and disease-free living for mental, physical, and spiritual health to all ranges of life, for everywhere, every corner of the earth. I don't want this to be just for those who can afford a program, the Art of Stress-Free Living, or the DNA Hacker Secrets Mastermind, and whatever else that we're going to be doing in the future, which there's a lot of plans. I really want this to be able to reach a lot of people. So please support us. And if you have any comments, you want anything that you may suggest that you want us to do a video on, I will be more than happy to cater that to you. Today I have a great video. I'm going to be talking about 7 tips to help you relax. So oftentimes I work with clients, I talk to people, and I hear a common theme, which is these are very successful people, they work really hard, and when it comes to self-care, they're just completely lost. When it comes to knowing how to relax, they just don't have any clue how to do that. And so my goal was with this video to offer some tips. Of course, some of these people that I talk to then end up joining some of my events, retreats. One of them is coming up. You can get more information on a link below. And in those events, our second Art of Stress-Free Living retreat is where I go into a lot more detail, and people live with skills and tools, and they learn how to integrate it into their day-to-day. I don't like to teach stuff that you can't integrate into your day-to-day basis, or to have you come somewhere, feel great, de-stress, eat healthy, all this stuff, and then not really know how to apply that when you get back home. All right, so this is also on medium.com. A lot more detail there. So if you want a lot more information, go to medium.com, Rama's Rooted Tree, and you'll find this article. If you go on medium.com and you type 7 tips to help you relax, to help you when you don't know how to relax, then you'll find that video. And all right. So the first thing is to really take a step back. A lot of people want to get somewhere, but they just don't have a clear vision. I did a video recently that came out, I'm not sure what's coming out, I haven't uploaded as of this video, but in this video I discussed this vicious cycle of belief, lack of action, or poor action, leading to little results, which then reinforce your belief that your potential is limited, that you should settle for disease, or settle for thinking that stress is a way of life, and then you don't really do anything. But if you had a clear vision, an outcome that you want, a result that you want for yourself, and you really either you work with somebody who's a master that can teach you, expedite the process so you don't make mistakes, help you design a plan, how to implement it, and you then implement that plan, then you get action, and that action leads to results. And those results now are positive results that then reinforce your belief that you can do something better. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, I'm not worth this, my potential is limited, you start to believe something else. You start seeing, wait a second, if I take action, I get results, and therefore that changes your whole mindset. And your then willingness to take action is greater, and that leads to greater and greater action, massive action, with greater and greater planning, greater vision. And so you have to understand what areas in your life are obstacles to you relaxing. Oftentimes, the most obvious one is your work. That is one of the greatest obstacles there. But oftentimes, if you really sit down and you concentrate and you relax your mind and start analyzing and introspecting your life, you're going to realize that it's not really about the job or your boss or an annoying co-worker. It's not about anything out there. It's about you. I teach this in the Art of Stress-Free Living retreats. I have this in the Art of Stress-Free Living book that you can get a copy below, and you can get a free signed copy. And so this means that if I figure out what are the obstacles, mainly internal, then I can actually achieve relaxation. Remember, relaxation is not about oh, I'm so relaxed, I'm lazy, I'm not gonna do anything. Relaxation increases creativity and productivity because a relaxed mind is a clear mind. It's a clear mind that can do more, its potential is gonna be unleashed, its productivity is gonna be greater, its energy level is gonna be greater. You're not gonna be stressed, worn out, beaten. All these things get in the way. And if I have a business, I need to establish the right culture, the right environment that actually stimulates this, and I work with businesses to do this. So if you're interested, you have a business, you want to create a better culture for your employees to increase productivity, then we can do that. So what do you need? You need to start answering these questions. What do you need in order to relax? And this is actually a very tricky question because often I work with clients and often what they think they need is the exact opposite of what they actually need. Type A personality thinks, oh, to relax, I need to run 5 miles after work. That's exactly what they don't need. That's just gonna exacerbate and push them more to the extreme that they're already in of agitation, anxiety, stress, inflammation, wearing down the body, increasing the fire and just burning them out. And that's gonna lead to increased aging and other problems. So you need to work with a skilled practitioner that can figure out where you are in the spectrum and how can you get to the middle road, to the road of balance, of sattvas, of harmony. So this one is a very tricky question, but you can sit down and you can start thinking about healthy things. How can you satisfy your needs, gain relaxation, implement tools without sacrificing your health, your peace, and your integrity? These are important. Don't go and do something that goes against your ethics, goes against your health, against your peace of mind just because it feels good or it's gonna relax you. Remember, I think it's about moderation, doing the things that are gonna be right for you in the long run, not just the short term. So don't have a short-sighted vision. Another important thing is, so this one is really about planning, introspecting, taking time to really sit and start to look within. Start to analyze what are the things that you're doing that are obstacles in your life. The next one is, what are the things on the outside that you're doing? One of the biggest problems is electronic media devices, a cell phone, an iPad, a TV. Of course, I recommend not really having a TV in the bedroom. And so you want to really start to tune out, doing things that are gonna be more nurturing and empowering, rather than doing things that are sedentary, that are just gonna be stimuli, whether it's a violent film or the news, things that are just going to agitate and stimulate your senses more. If you're already stressed, anxious, all worked up, you're having a hard time relaxing, then you're likely struggling with sleep as well. Low sleep quality, you may be struggling with insomnia. These things, electronic devices, are a big enemy. Take a break. Take at least a 30-minute break. Maybe take a few breaks during the day where you don't look at your devices. If you're at work, take a step away. Talk to your boss or have them reach out to me and I'll go and give a short little workshop on the business on how to actually decrease stress, to increase productivity, increase creativity, etc. Really the bottom line of that business is gonna grow, guarantee that. And so I have mastered the art of doing this, and somebody would see me, oh, you're so relaxed, you're laid back, you don't ever seem stressed, yet the lower productivity is second to none. I put my work ethic against anybody, because there's a lot of people out there that have great work ethic, but you don't have to burn yourself out. You don't have to compromise your health. I see so many entrepreneurs. I go to a lot of events and I see really prominent entrepreneurs that when they reach a certain age, they've been grinding and grinding and grinding, and then you hear them talking about how health is so important in their life, and they're looking for that next solution, that edge, to get themselves mentally, physically, spiritually in line with the universe and to feel better, especially in line with nature as well, as you'll see. That leads me to the next one, which is reconnect with nature, plan a trip. So I've talked about in previous videos, and at the end of this video, I'll put a link to a video where I discuss some more details. I do teach how to implement, how to integrate nature into your household, and why should you do that. In the near future, I think I'm going to do a video on sacred geometry of nature and mental health, so you can learn a little bit more. Why is it that the forms in nature are so sacred, they're so healing and powerful, and the stimuli that you get through the soothing sounds and visual stimuli of nature is so important. Even touch, gardening, holding soil in your hands, all this type of labor of love, reconnecting with nature, honoring and respecting Mother Nature is extremely important. Taking time to reconnect with nature is important. If you live somewhere where there's a park nearby, go take a stroll or a bike ride, go hiking on a weekend, plan a trip, go on a retreat somewhere where you're going to be connecting with nature. And I've been in discussions recently with a group in Mexico where we're going to be holding some retreats there, and it's going to be beautiful, reconnecting with nature. So stay tuned for that. I'll be making announcements on social media at Ramos Rooted Tree and here on this channel. All right, so this is very important. Take time. Don't grind. And of course, if you plan a trip, maybe plan a trip, go on a retreat. Go on a retreat like the Art of Stress Relief, where you learn skills and tools. Not only are you learning to relax, you're learning skills that then you can take with you. So during the work week, you can continue to work on your craft and your self-care to feel better, to be more relaxed. Another one, this is hugely important. I've talked about this in a previous video that I did on how to sustain balance through the work week. What happens often that I find is you get to work, you may be on a job that you talk a lot. You're not breathing well. You may be working, maybe stressed. What happens when you're stressed and anxious? You start holding your breath becomes very choppy, irregular. That type of breathing pattern starts to trigger a loop that exacerbates stress, starts to increase the stress pathway, increase stress hormones that start to build up over the day. If I don't do anything, by the time I get home, I'm worn out. I may even do the wrong thing to exercise. I may go to the gym and really grind and pump it and really put a lot of stress on my body as well, increase inflammation. And I devote a whole chapter on body stress in the Art of Stress Reliving, because it's important to know how stress and inflammation are interacting to lead to chronic disease and all sorts of problems. So connecting with the breath is important. I did a video on, I can't really link all these videos. This is why you want to go back and check all these videos. There's a lot of great content in the past. All right, I went and got a little marker real quick just to correct. I had said Surya Vedana Kumbhaka. It's actually Chandra Vedana Kumbhaka. Or I may have edited out that part and I may have even said Surya Vedana, but Surya Vedana is actually for enhancing activation of the sympathetic nervous system, activation of the stress pathway, which yes, you do want in certain circumstances. I've explained that in previous lectures, previous videos. But in this case, if I'm struggling to relax, I want to enhance breathing through the left nostril. I've described this breathing exercise before. It's also in the Art of Stress Relieving book, so you want to read that section. If you're having more information, go to the link below. Or comment if you want a free signed copy of the book mailed to your house. And so this is a breathing exercise that I describe in that book, and I describe a video, so you want to try this exercise for sure. Very easy, you can do at work. Something very simple that even is not even this is just to inhale very slowly, bring in awareness, as I'll talk about down here, breath awareness. Consider some of these micro strategies inserted during the day as I'm working. Bring awareness to your breath, be more mindful. And notice how you're breathing. Start to enhance the length of the inhale and double the exhale, make the exhale much longer. And if you're feeling a little lethargic, hold your breath to kind of energize you a little. So breathing extremely important. There's also breathing apps. Even on the Apple Watch, it'll notify you, and you can just open the app on the watch and it will give you notification. I do this sometimes. I'm on a lecture, sitting somewhere, I'm on a computer, whatever. I'll do it. I'll just do a little breathing for a minute or two. Excellent. Just to kind of cut that pattern that you're having of building up of stress. And then of course, be consistent with that practice. Don't do it one day for a little bit, then disregard it for 5 days and then do it the next week. Be consistent. The more consistent you are, you'll see results. If you give up, then you don't really see progress. So breathing is at the heart of this. I teach a number of breathing techniques in the Art of Stress Relieving Retreat and the book. And there'll be more to come as well in the DNA Hacker Secrets book that I'm going to work on this fall. I'll probably have it finished sometime in January. And in that book, it goes into breathing techniques, concentration techniques, but actually to enhance your health, enhance your energy level, to activate certain aspects of yourself that are right now dormant, that are extremely important for your health. All right, so do more of what you love. I emphasize this throughout in all my programs, in my book. This is extremely important. If you can, possibly daily. People deserve to see the real you. They deserve to see somebody that's happy. Oftentimes, and I may be doing a video on Dharma, order, kind of your purpose, and depression. These go hand in hand. If you are not aligned with your purpose, if you're not aligned with what you're meant to do in the world, you're doing something that you hate, of course, anybody's going to be depressed. And oftentimes we say, oh, my mom was depressed, or there's a family history of depression, or it's chemical. Yes, that can contribute to that, but that's a locking phase. Persistence in a certain pattern locks your brain in a certain neurochemistry, a certain gene expression pattern that locks you in that mental disease state. It's not about the chemistry. You can break from that and change your chemistry, rewire yourself, change your gene expression, change your neurochemistry, change your hormones to get yourself out of that. And so I'll be doing a video on this because this is very important. If you are not doing what you're meant to do, people often choose careers for the wrong reasons, for money, prestige, pride, whatever it may be. If it's not something that you absolutely jump out of bed for, that you love, and you're making it to make ends meet, you have a family, you have to provide, I understand that. I've been there. Then you do that. But work towards doing what you love. Whether it's, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do what I love for a living, have a plan. What are the obstacles in the way of you being able to do that? Don't spend time on Netflix doing idle stuff after work. Work towards your dream. Make them a reality. You're not going to attract anything if you just sit there and think about it. You must act, plan, act, execute. And then if you start to align yourself with what you love, you start to align yourself with the universe, with your greater purpose, you're going to actually be able to do more, be more productive, be more energetic, be more passionate, be happier, full of joy. It's gonna be a huge difference in your life. If you're not able to do that, if you're content doing whatever you do for a living, that's fine. Then fit in time for what you love. More time for you. It's not being selfish. If you don't find time for you, then what happens? Your loved ones, your relationships, they're never going to see you. They're going to see somebody that's worn down, beaten, and a shell of themselves. Even if you're not angry all the time or depressed or whatever, you're not going to be the best version of yourself. So, very important. Doing what you love will help you relax, whether it's sports, art, music, whatever it may be. Find your passion and try doing more of it. All right. This is another key one. This is another kind of analysis one, like we did at the beginning. Address relaxation at every level of your life. What can I practice consistently? Be honest with yourself. Think about, like, if you, let's say you read The Art of Stress-Free Living, and you see some technique, be honest with you, like, am I really going to do that? Or you read somebody else's book, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be anything that I do. You find something else. Am I going to execute? If I'm not going to execute that, if I'm going to do it once in a while, it's not really worth it. So, what can I practice consistently? Consistency, again, is key. What am I currently doing now that actually helps? But remember, this is tricky because often what we think we need is not really what we actually need. So be careful with your impressions of what you think you need. That may not be exactly it. All right. What other strategies can you incorporate? Read, educate yourself. Work with a master, work with somebody, a coach, somebody who's experienced, who's been there, walked the path, who was depressed, or was stressed out, or was anxious, or who struggled with this or that, and can connect with you, can understand and give you an answer. Hey, I was here, and this is what's going to happen when you start doing this. This is what you're going to experience. This is what's going to happen next, and then eventually you're going to get here. And this is where you want to get to. They must have walked the path. They must teach out of experience. Not hearsay, not reading a lot of books, not sounding smart. They must have done it themselves. Direct experience is the greatest teacher of all. That's what differentiates a speaker from a teacher. All right. And so, in addition, what strategies can you incorporate? So what techniques can I use? So especially if I'm stressed, the Art of Stress-Free Living book, you can get a free ebook, the book below on Amazon, or you can get a hard copy signed by me, free, delivered to your house. Comment below or reach me on social media. And in this book, I discuss many techniques that you can use. Also, not just techniques when you're stressed, but techniques for maintenance, so that as you're more consistent, you can maintain and sustain, as I've explained in other videos, that balance, that well-being, that greater state of harmony that you so desire. All right. Lastly, consider micro, macro, and in-between strategy. What I mean by that? Well, micro strategies are ones that don't require a lot of time. Little time, they're free, they're readily available. You can do them whenever. So, for example, these are ones that you're going to do at set times. You're going to be consistent. You're going to try to do them, like, for example, mindful walking or mindful eating. Stay tuned for a video I'm going to be doing on mindful eating, and I'm going to be sharing my Zen fruit. This is the fruit for mindful eating, and it's one that I'm pretty sure you probably heard of, and I'll show you how you should not eat it and how you should eat it. And in addition, I'll illustrate it with another fruit like an apple or something, how you mindfully eat. Very important. It's a habit you want to cultivate, and I describe it in the Art of Stress-Free Living book. Mindful walking as well. And I teach this as well. You want to learn the art of mindful walking. Being aware of the movements of your body, the feelings of the soles of your feet on the ground. Try to walk more barefoot. That contact, that sensory stimulus is very nurturing. Studies have shown it's very beneficial to walk barefoot more often, especially if you're in the house. You don't want to be walking outside barefoot, then that's fine. And I already talked about breath awareness is another great one. And be consistent with that during the day. Be aware of how you're breathing. And try to bring more control and length to your breath. Macro would involve a bit more planning. We've talked about it before when I talked about planning a trip. Take a vacation, particularly a vacation that reconnects you with nature, a retreat, something that's going to really help you. Sorry, I just got a call there. If you haven't watched the Patriot Act, our latest video just completely destroyed any chance that I will be going on a cruise. It just makes it really hard if you watch this video. Don't go on a cruise. Not only is it not going to be stimulating your relaxation, is just you're going to be doing a lot of things that are actually going to exacerbate the condition, but two, it's actually very destructive for that industry. It's very destructive for the environment, not just the marine ecosystem. So if you want to check that out on Netflix, a little shout out there to Hassan Minhaj. All right, and then of course, in between strategies, things that you may not do consistently like these, where you fit time to do them, but you try to fit them in different activities like massage, dining, out with a friend or a loved one, things that you know you're going to enjoy that help you relax, bike ride, fit in some yoga, fit in some Tai Chi. These are controlled, and I'm not talking about the yoga, the exercise yoga, very focused on just the asanas or the postures. You want to actually do a yoga that is actually a lot more controlled, maybe something aching like a yin yoga, for example, or a therapeutic yoga. I teach this at the events, because when you do yoga, that the movements are more controlled and held for longer, and you're trying to go within, closing your eyes, focusing, concentrating, tuning to your breath, it actually has a greater healing effect. All right, so those are all the tips for today. I hope this served you well. Trying to provide you good content. I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care. Namaste.